Record. All right, so welcome to the Live PC, Give PC training webinar. My name is Ellen, and I will be leading you through today's presentation. Just a few housekeeping items to note. Before we jump in, the webinar will be recorded and we will post it to the toolkit on the Saving Pets Challenge site. The Live PC, Give PC site. And you can also use the Zoom Q&A module to send any questions you may have during the webinar. For a little bit of background, since many of you might be new to Mighty Cause, Mighty Cause is a fully functioning nonprofit fundraising suite that organizations use 365 days a year to raise money for their causes. We've been around since about 2006 and power many local, regional, and national giving events. We're super excited to be the platform for this year's Live PC, Give PC. So here is a look at today's agenda. We'll be going over some of the basics. We're going to touch on getting started on the platform and all the prizes available for this year's Live PC, Give PC. We'll also move into a deep dive of strategy and utilizing the tools that come with Mighty Cause that will make you most successful during this giving day. And if you are running into any questions, once again, type them into the Q&A box. We'll have a Q&A at the end. If there's kind of a running theme with questions at the end, then we will add those to the toolkit and make sure that everyone has those answered. So every November, Live PC, Give PC brings Park City and Summit County together for 24 hours of extreme generosity. This giving day has raised millions of dollars for local nonprofits over the past 12 years. Vision for Live PC, Give PC is a community where every person that lives, works, or plays in Summit County contributes to our nonprofit organizations. The day is hosted by Park City Community Foundation. Here are a few important dates for this year's Giving Day. The mandatory meeting is on September 28th at 4 p.m. Also, registration ends on September 30th, and the Giving Day is November 4th. These are all obviously all on the site as well, but just want to reiterate some of these important dates. So here are a few of the basics that you will be going through for this year's challenge. First is to navigate your dashboard. So once you've filled out and submitted your registration form and have been approved, the next step you can take is to complete your page. There are a few basic items for this year's Live PC, Give PC that we recommend you doing. You should add a background image to your page or use one from the gallery of stock images. Add a story, also called a description. This tells visitors about your nonprofit organization and what you do. Build a thank you page that donors will see once their donation transaction is completed, and sign up for direct deposits. If you need help or unsure about how to complete any of these items, let us know at support@mightycause.com. or check out our support library, where we have plenty of walkthroughs and videos to help you out in order for you to get your organization page set up. We also recommend taking some time to get to know your dashboard. Your dashboard is the admin section that appears on the left side of the screen when you're logged onto your nonprofit's profile. When you log in, you'll automatically land on your overview section, which is where you'll find your to-do list, as well as metrics for your nonprofit. Beneath the overview section is the organization page section, where you can customize your public-facing organization page by toggling on edit mode, and include page metrics like adding a goal for your giving day to enable the progress on your page. Below that, within the fundraising section, you'll have the ability to manage fundraising pages and other efforts for your organization, as well as matching grants, which we will be touching base on in a little bit. Below that on your dashboard is in the report section, where you will be able to preview and export different donations, and reports. And the last important section is definitely the checkout section, which we will also talk about in a few slides. Customize your profile. Your profile is the face of your nonprofit for the challenge, so you'll want to make sure it looks good and represents you well. Just so you know, your profile link is the link that you'll share with your supporters to ask them to donate to your Giving Day page. So you will want to share your page simply by copying and pasting the link in your URL on your organization profile page. And this is what you will do to share on social, in your emails, and everything that you are using to fundraise for this campaign. You can change your theme color to match your logo, upload media to your gallery to add to the visual interest of your page. And your story or description is really kind of the centerpiece of your page. In your story, you can put your mission statement, you can add photos and video. Just as a note, you'll need to upload the video to YouTube or Vimeo first, but then you can embed it onto your story so that people can watch it there. This spot is really where you can go in depth about your work and make a strong appeal to donors to tell them why your organization needs their support and show the impact of your work. So spend some time customizing this profile, because the more work you put into it, chances are the better you will do during the Giving Day. You can have the best campaign strategy in the world, but if your profile, the page where people actually make donations, looks like you haven't shown it any love, you may end up losing some donors. Next, you will want to customize your checkout flow. This is located within your checkout section on the dashboard. The checkout flow is what your donors experience when they make a donation to your organization. The first part to customize are your checkout steps. This is probably one of the more important features to focus on when you're setting up your organization's profile page. The checkout flow section gives you a lot of control over the donation process for your organization on Mighty Cause. It allows you to opt into collecting the information you want from donors, like addresses and phone numbers. You can also set up a custom suggested donation amount and add a description to help tie those amounts in to items or services your nonprofit provides and strengthen your appeal to donate. The checkout steps within your checkout flow also allows you to preview the whole checkout process without actually making a test donation. So you can see what your final process looks like just as you are editing it. Your report section is divided into 5 areas: donations, offline donations, recurring donations, retention, and disbursements. Donations with Mighty Cause's donation report, you will be able to view the information associated with each donation made to your organization through Mighty Cause. So at the top of the report, you can filter and search for particular donations or set of donations. The display defaults to the last 30 days of donations, so just adjust the time frame in that time period section and filter by campaigns. You can download the full donation details as a CSV file to view all information, including address information, custom questions that you may have put, and anything else that you added to your checkout section. The disbursement section of your report allows you to see your batch disbursement history. You can click on disbursement listing to open up more information about that disbursement, like which donations were included in that report, as well as a summary of the total amount, total associated fees, and net amount included in that disbursement. All donations on the site are processed by the Mighty Cause Foundation, a donor-advised fund. Your organization can sign up for electronic fund transfer, which we recommend this method since it allows you to get your fund dispersed twice monthly. We can also send disbursements via check, Those get sent out only once a month, and there is a $5 administrative fee associated with check disbursement. So it's highly recommended that you sign up for EFT since it's free and you do get your money faster. Next, we are going to go over the prizes and leaderboards. There will be much more detail of this at the mandatory meeting, but I just wanted to get them announced so you have all the information you will need to be successful. So this year's Live PC Give PC will have 7 leaderboards. Organizations listed on leaderboards may only win 1 leaderboard prize for a total of 18 nonprofits winning a prize. Leaderboard prizes will be awarded based on the total number of unique donors making at least 1 gift online via the Live PC Give PC platform. And these are our leaderboards for this year. So each leaderboard will have live leaderboards so you can see where you stand at any time. The key to winning them is in getting your donors invested and helping you climb the leaderboards. So keep tabs on your position on the leaderboard and keep your donors and supporters updated on where you are. Continually emphasize how much is at stake. How much could this extra prize money do for your charity? What would this help you achieve? So you will want to tie that back into your overall messaging about what you do and why you do it. To really get people excited about helping you win that money. Another trick is to just concentrate on sustaining momentum and keeping the fundraising going throughout the day and finishing strong. There are a few other ways to win. The new donor challenge will add $10 to each donation made by a donor who is new to Live PC Give PC. The challenge will start at 12:01 a.m. on November 4th and covers the first 400 donations made by new donors. One $10 boost per Live PC Give PC donor. Another way to win is the Power Hour Booster Challenge. 2 power hours will be announced via social media on November 4th at specific times of day, starting at the announced hours. The challenge will add $10 to the next 400 unique donors' online donations. Donors who have given early but give again during a specific power hour can still count as unique donors for these power hour challenges. There's also the Park City Spirit Challenge, where $1,000 will be awarded to the nonprofit who shows the most spirit and Park City pride during Live PC Give PC. The Live PC Give PC task force and community foundation staff will determine which nonprofit displays the most spirit. And lastly, there will be a year-over-year donor growth award given. This award will go to the top 3 nonprofits who have the most year-over-year donor growth. Now we are going to get into some campaign strategy for this year's Live PC Give PC. So first you will want to secure a matching grant. A great strategy for driving donations on a giving day is securing a matching grant. Matching grant is essentially a large donation that your nonprofit leverages to bring in other smaller donations by offering it up as a match. So for instance, if someone is willing to give you $1,000, instead of just putting that money in the bank and calling it a day, you could use it as a matching grant. So the terms of the grant are totally up to you and the grantor, but let's say there's a bonus prize available and you'd like to do whatever you can to drive donations during that day or during that time period. So you will take that $1,000 and say to your followers, hey, between this time and this time, there will be donations will be matched $1,000, which basically allows them to double their donation. You can do a lot with the Mighty Cause tool, like setting a cap for donation matching, say $200. So someone doesn't completely come along and just make a big donation that eats up that entire match. So it's really cool and complex little tool that allows you to do a lot with your matching grants. And on our platform, we've seen that matching grants, especially on giving days, can be a powerful way to drive those donations. So since a matching grant is ultimately just a large donation, you'll want to follow the same process as you would when you secure a major gift. You prospect, cultivate, and ask people. You should consider as prospects, these people should be board members. Sometimes an individual board member will be happy to provide a matching grant. One thing you can also consider is asking your board to work together to provide a match. If your board still has to pay its dues, for instance, you can utilize their dues by turning them into a matching grant. Major gift donors who have given large donations to your nonprofit in the past are also good prospects. And providing a matching grant can be a fun way to liven up their donations. So instead of just writing a check, they're helping your nonprofit grow and drive other donations. And you can also give the donor some extra recognition when you're promoting this match. So major gift donors who like a little shout out or are even better matching grant prospects. Corporate sponsors are also good prospects because it's fun, proactive, and it gets them involved in a more public way and draws attention to their philanthropy. At this stage in the game, you can start making those calls and setting up emails and starting to cultivate these prospects, letting them know what you're doing on November 4th and seeing how warm they might be to the idea of getting involved. And then in the coming couple of weeks, you can make your ask and shore up the details of that match. You can have more than one match running at the same time on Mighty Cause. So if you get a lot of great responses, don't feel like you have to pick and choose one. At the end of the day, a matching grant is just a marketing tool. So in order to make the most of your matching grant, you'll need to promote it. So the first step is going to the matching grants tool on your profile page and adding it there. There are some marketing tools built into the platform for your matching grant, such as putting a sticker on your donate button when the grant is active. Some changes to your checkout process to reflect that match, and the match gets listed on your nonprofit profile. But you'll also want to add some information to your story, especially if it's a big match, and promote it on your social media channels. Also send out emails and so on to let your followers know about this match. Countdowns add urgency, so counting down and sharing your progress can be a great way to get people excited and urge them to stop what they're doing and make a donation. Next, you will want to activate your ambassadors. So moving on for matching grants, you'll want to talk a little bit about ambassadors. Ambassadors are people who usually who are in your nonprofit's inner circle who can help boost your campaign. So that includes board members, volunteers, especially ones who are highly engaged. Staff members could also be ambassadors and so on. Utilizing ambassadors can help break out of your list of existing supporters and engage new people that you wouldn't otherwise have access to. An ambassador can help you in a few different ways. You can simply share a link to your page with their social circle to let them know to donate. We now do have a full ambassador section on LivePC, GivePC. You will be able to visit it on the main page. You will see ambassadors, and you can encourage your followers to become an ambassador and share all your information. We give them all the tools that they will need to be a successful ambassador for your nonprofit. Team fundraising is another way of peer-to-peer fundraising where you basically deputize your supporters to fundraise on your behalf. So you would ask those ambassadors to also set up team pages. This may sound like a big ask, but it's often a really fun way to engage your biggest supporters and allows them to tell their own story about your nonprofit, how they came to work with you, and why your work is important to them. And this doesn't distract or draw attention away from your campaign because they are operating alongside your campaign and reaching out to people they know personally for donations. In most cases, it's their friends, colleagues, and family. And these are people who are not already in your list of people you solicit for donations. So for people like board, volunteers, staff, and program alumni, this can be a great way for them to get involved without just being asked to give money. And it can make it a much more meaningful for them just making a donation or sharing a link. So it can actually be a part of your stewarding process of building and sustaining a relationship with that specific supporter. We've also seen nonprofits get some great P2P action going by just inviting people on social media or sending them an email asking for help. For younger people who have a big social network and are comfortable online, but maybe don't have much cash to give, this can be an excellent way for them to help out and make a meaningful contribution. So your email list is going to be one of your most important tools during this giving day because emails are a direct line to your supporters. Unlike social media, you don't have to worry about an algorithm getting in your way or preventing people from seeing what you send them. Because unless they've unsubscribed, it will end up right in their inbox and probably send them a notification on their phone. So I want to talk a little bit about email strategy because that's going to be important for this giving day. In general, you'll want to keep your emails relatively short, simple, and skimmable. Most people read their email on their phone these days, so they're not going to read a novel. They just want to be able to skim it and get straight to the point. People are much more likely to read emails that pertain directly to them, so we highly recommend segmenting your email list by sorting donors into a few key groups. Donors who have given a lot or have given on a regular basis, one-time donors, people who utilize your services but never donated, one-time donors, your board, volunteers, and so on. You don't need to craft an entirely new email to each of these groups, but you can tweak small things about the emails for each group to make it more personal. So for instance, an email who volunteers, you want to acknowledge how you already help your nonprofit, and you wouldn't want to send an email to a major gift donor only asking them for about $25. So identify your key segments and figure out how to tailor your message to them. When an email is tailored to who the recipient is and the relationship they have with your organization, they are much more likely to read it and take action on it. How you segment depends on the program you're using, but most services like Constant Contact and MailChimp use tags to segment groups of people on your email list. One thing you will also want to pay close attention to is the timing of your emails, especially if you are aiming to win specific leaderboards or bonus prizes. I would recommend taking the time to schedule as much as possible beforehand and have that template ready for things like if you're sending things out day of, like blast emails asking people to help get your campaign to your goal and updating them where your campaign is. Also, if you've won any prizes, to update your audience on that as well. Lastly, your call to actions should be clear and action-oriented. Things like give now, donate now, help us today. More passive CTAs like thanks for donating or please contribute aren't as effective in your emails. For a high stakes day, we highly recommend staying in your comfort zone and going where your audience is. So what I mean by this is if you have never logged onto TikTok before in your whole life, you do not need to use TikTok for Live PC, Give PC this year. If you have 1,000 followers on your Facebook page, but only a handful on Instagram, you should spend way more time and effort on promoting your campaign on Facebook or on more than Instagram. So stay in your lane and put your efforts into the platform where you're most likely to reach people and have an impact. I definitely recommend scheduling any posts you can ahead of time to save yourself a lot of trouble and to get your key content scheduled with Facebook's publishing tools, or you could use Creator Studio. Go into TweetDeck and schedule your tweets, and save any live posting for stuff that needs to be done the same day, like thanking a donor, updates to your progress, or any prize announcements. To that end, you'll want to assign a point person to monitor social media so you can quickly respond to comments and interact with your followers. Since that is important on social media, and interaction can also help you in terms of the algorithm, since most platforms do show priority to posts with a lot of engagement. We do recommend budgeting a little money if you're able to boost some of your posts or promote some tweets and on social media. So $20 for an ad can actually go a very long way. You'll want to make sure that your ad is targeted properly, and that if you aren't sure how to target an ad, you can always default to targeting the people who like your page or already follow you. In terms of the type of content that will do well on social media, it depends a bit on the platform. But in general, photos and videos do really well, and you may want to consider doing something out of the box like a Facebook Live video or a watch party for your campaign to help generate some buzz, and while also delivering some algorithm-friendly content. And finally, when you are planning your campaign, follow-up is a very important thing to consider. When you're planning your content, you'll also want to plan your thank yous to donors. Things like making a video or a photo of your staff can really be great for this. Be sure to talk about the impact of the funds you raised and close the loop on your campaign. That means if you were fundraising for something specific, like a new piece of equipment or improvements to your building or something like that, you'll want to send an email. You'll want to send emails periodically on the progress of that project. You want to make sure you've got an onboarding plan in place for these new donors so they can come back to donate again. If you collect addresses, mailing them a welcome packet can be another great way to get them onboarded. You can also create an automated email journey where they can get more information about what you do and why it's important to support your work. I also wanted to bring attention to the nonprofit toolkit. The nonprofit toolkit has tips and tricks, frequently asked questions, walkthroughs, and it also has templates you can use for email, social media, and to help you get inspired and figure out how to promote your campaign. This is also where you'll be able to find today's training recording, as well as logos and graphics that you can use to download and tying your brand into this year's Live PC, Give PC. Be sure to refer back to it as you are planning your campaign. We also wanted to emphasize securing early donations. So early donations opened on August 21st. Once again, this is all accessible through your dashboard under the donation report. All donations will be processed immediately and will reflect on the leaderboards when they populate on the giving day on November 4th. And donors do not need to create a username to donate. And lastly, when you are planning your campaign and you have any issues, whether it's uploading a logo, I just wanted to bring attention to Mighty Cause support. We are a great resource before and during this campaign for anything campaign related. If you need help setting up your EFT, if you need some help figuring out how to strategize around the week, around all the bonuses, if your donor needs a receipt resent, you can reach out to them at any time. They are happy to answer any of your questions. And that is at support@mightycause.com, Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. They will be there to help you out. Okay, I do not see anything in the chat or the Q&A at the moment. So please reach out to us if you have any questions. Once again, the mandatory meeting, they will go over more detail of all of the leaderboards and the bonuses. And the mandatory meeting is on September 28th at 4 p.m. And yes, if you have any questions, please reach out either to support or, and we would be happy to answer them. Thank you so much and happy campaigning.